Hello and welcome to Module 4 of this completely free golf psychology series brought to you by freesportspsych.com and me, Psycho Sid. As per the instructions in the email I sent you, I hope you have a pen and paper to hand to make any notes that you need. Just pause the presentation as necessary. Also, please watch the presentation in full screen mode. Click on the rectangular icon in the bottom right of the video box. Okay, let's get started. The title for this module is Your Self-Talk. For this module and the next, we're going to be looking at impact factors for maintaining a pathway to golfing success. So, what is self-talk? Simply, self-talk is your thoughts, your own internal communication system. As we learnt in team, this self-talk is a constant companion and everything follows on from what we are talking to ourselves about. We have also learned that mostly self-talk is uncontrolled and meanders along with your day. We are now going to consider this self-talk in more detail and see how it becomes a significant impact factor in your quest for self-improvement. Let's consider how we talk to ourselves. In difficult situations, we can be so rude, far more so than if we were talking to another person. We will often shout at ourselves, use swear words, and be hypercritical, all of which will be socially unacceptable with another person. Can you imagine saying to your playing partner, "That was appalling, bloody useless, why don't you give the game up?" We must consider then the emotions and actions that would follow on from such negative self-talk. We have already learned that they will be absolutely what we are trying to avoid, and all this happening automatically. Therefore, we need to actively control self-talk. We have already discussed a level of control by using goals to inject positivity into our self-talk. Also, the creation of confidence-building charts and their repetition forces positive self-talk upon us. Now we are going to exercise further control by becoming aware of negative self-talk and replacing it with something far more appropriate. The major benefit? Creating positive emotion, the major impact factor in positive behaviour. It is going to be useful to classify different categories of self-talk. The more accurate labels we can use, the easier it will be to recognise when negative self-talk appears. This recognition or self-awareness is the first step towards taking control. So, our first category, demands. This relates to any self-talk concerning a demanding or difficult activity that lies ahead. This may be a thought such as, "This is a tough course," or "It's a difficult windy day," or "She will be difficult to beat." It is clear that emotions such as fear and anxiety will follow. Secondly, we have ability. This is where you are questioning whether you are currently capable of doing a given task. Examples would be, "I'm driving terribly today," or "I can't hole a putt," or "I'm not good enough to beat her." Again, negative emotions will automatically follow. Thirdly, consequences. Again, if I miss this fairway, it's double bogey time. Or, if I don't get up and down here, I'm definitely going up 0.1 today. Or, if I lose this hole, I will never get back in this match. More negative emotion flowing from that little if word. The final category is slightly different as it refers to the nature of the activity as a whole. An absolute or generalization statement would be, "I'm always bad in the wind," or "I never do well on tight courses," or "I get a tough draw all the time." Okay, these are the categories. Now, what to do about them? There are two strategies here. Firstly, for demands, ability and consequence, we must start with acceptance. Let's examine the facts. Your brain has created a train of thought with regard to an upcoming event. The words that have sprung to mind are negative. Why? If our experiences of playing in the wind are always good, do you think you would have thought, it's a difficult windy day today? If you have hit most fairways, would you be thinking, I'm driving terribly today? If you have always beaten this lady, would you say to yourself, I'm not good enough to beat her? Well, no, of course you wouldn't. The reason you have created this train of thought is that there is a truth to it, and your brain is giving you a valid warning. The strategy most used is for people to try and block the thought, try to change the subject. This doesn't work. The little voice will just come back again, probably more loudly. So instead, we must accept it. Yes, this will be a difficult windy day. Yes, I am driving terribly today. Yes, she is a good player. Accept the reality and be grateful for the warning. What comes next? A statement of positive intent. Yes, this will be a difficult windy day, so I'm going to focus especially hard on line off the tee and clubbing distances. Yes, I am driving terribly today, so I'm going to take a few breaths and rehearse my swing a few times calmly before teeing off on every hole. Yes, she is a good player, so I'll go to the club an extra couple of times this week and maybe get a lesson booked too. Reality followed by positive action. The little voice is impressed by that and is happy to pipe down. We can expect more positive emotion to flow through us after such a response. We need a slightly different approach to an absolute statement or generalization. It is almost always the case that these are not true. There are exceptions, and we must seek them out. So, I'm always bad in the wind. Hold on, that's not right. I shot my handicap in a gale last month. I never do well on tight courses. Wait a minute, I won the money at that fiddly course in Portugal we all played last summer. I get a tough draw all the time, except of course the year we won the doubles. In this case, we are using history as evidence, and it is unquestionable. Even if the predominance of history points towards the negative generality, the statement is undermined by just one priceless exception. It is possible that the absolute or generalisation is true. You may have always been bad in the wind, on tight courses, or playing tough opponents. In this case, we need to draw on similar experiences where there was success, or maybe just vow to stop the rot. I am always bad in the wind, but so is everyone, and I've won before in this group. I never do well on tight courses, but this isn't as tight as some places I've played. I get a tough draw all the time. True, but odds are I'm going to win through this time. In both cases, demands, ability and consequence, and absolutes and generalizations, attempt to find something you can do immediately to reinforce the thoughts and emotions. Actively relax a little. Get out the course planner and highlight your favourite holes. Recite a few of your confidence list successes. Find an activity that makes you feel better. If we train ourselves to think and act this way, we can always find a suitable riposte to a slice of negative self-talk. Train is the operative word here. We have to work on this as soon as possible. The more you do it, the better you will become, and eventually the negative self-talk will start to subside. We have already mentioned the value of the truth in challenging negative self-talk. Here, we will seek to use it to help just before or during difficult times. Firstly, we need to know what is an absolute truth. It is a statement that cannot be challenged in any way, such as, today is Wednesday, I am here, I am watching a PowerPoint presentation. All of these are absolute facts, assuming it is Wednesday, and as such are beyond question. We will see their value soon. We need to identify 3 truths in the scenario you are or are about to experience. I am at the club, in the changing room, putting on my golf shoes. I am on the putting green, working on holing out, and it's 10 minutes to tee off. I am on the course, with my mates, playing the 8th. Repeat these 3 truths 3 times. Consider what is going on in your brain. Are you challenging these sentences or agreeing with them? Of course you are agreeing with them. They are beyond challenge. In essence, after 3 repeats, you have mentally said yes 9 times. You can't get much more positive than that. Then again, we add a positive statement. I am at the club, in the changing room, putting on my golf shoes. Today I will be club champion. I am on the putting green, working on holing out, and it's 10 minutes to tee off. I will beat this lady for the first time today. I am on the course with my mates playing the 8th. I'm going to knuckle down and be level for the rest of the day. True, repeated statements, followed by self-belief. Again, you can't get more positive than that. And this is what this module is about. Exercising control and using self-talk as a positive impact factor. To round off your good work, as with the reframing of negative self-talk, as soon as possible do something to reinforce this positive. It may be a last glance at yourself in the mirror with a smile, making a few more 3-footers with your full routine, or taking a few even deep breaths to start physically creating calmness to match the mental work you have just done. Whatever is appropriate, your actions will help that positivity we need to spiral upwards towards our desired outcome. So, we have reached the end of this module. The task at hand for you now is to start becoming aware of your negative self-talk and changing it to positive. In the next module, we will be exploring your body language as a further impact factor. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.